Hey, it's Jannelle Sanchez, and you're listening to Your Best Thing. Let's get into it. You guys, this is my first podcast. I'm so excited that you're here. I'm excited to be here. And I got so nervous setting up. I got so nervous deciding what part of my office I'm going to be recording in. I got so nervous thinking about the things I was going to say. And I almost forgot that the reason I even made this podcast, I almost forgot my own core message to myself in the midst of doing it. And it literally slapped me in my face. And I was like, Jannelle, it doesn't even fucking matter. It doesn't matter what your background is. It doesn't matter where the light is right now. It just doesn't matter. It matters a little bit. Okay, a little bit. But it doesn't matter. All this energy you're putting into it, it's really not about that. It's about the content that you're putting out. And if it's good and if it's valuable and if you are true to yourself, it's enough. And that is exactly why I made this podcast. And it's just so funny that in the midst of me doing all this stuff, I just had to remind myself and take a deep breath and keep it moving. So if you're watching on YouTube or Spotify, clearly you see I'm repping the Phillies today because the baseball season just kicked off and I'm going to rep it. I just need all of y'all to know this is the first time I'm recording myself for my podcast. I just want to say again, thank you so much for being here. Thank you. So y'all going to grow and learn with me, just letting you know. So I want to jump into today's topic, and it's all about vision and purpose. And purpose is one of those things, one of those words that we can hear and feel like really intimidated by. Does purpose mean my job? Does purpose mean what I love? Does purpose mean my hobbies? You may hear it and think all of these things. Some people hear that and want to jump into an identity crisis. I don't want you to do that today. But really, purpose isn't a job. We know that, or a specific goal. It's an underlying reason why you wake up every day. It's just what drives you. It connects to your values, your passions, and the impact you want to have on this world. But here's the truth. Purpose is not always something that we know just right away. I'm the queen of pivoting. And if you follow my journey, you'd see like the different things that I've explored and I've been curious about. And I'm just a very curious person. I like to view myself as being pretty gifted. I'm laughing because that just sounds so arrogant, but I'm really serious when I say that. Like, for real. But really, like, purpose, we don't know what we're supposed to do. And not just that, but it's really hard to say, this is my purpose. In the view of it's what I do when we are forever growing and learning. And what I've come to know is that purpose is something that it unfolds as we continue to explore, as we continue to be curious, as we continue to make mistakes and have to detour. That is where we find our purpose. I feel 100% speaking and just encouraging and uplifting and sharing and helping other people explore their own feelings, all that good stuff. I know that that's my purpose. I know 100%. There's no way I could be, I don't know. We could be doing anything and that's going to come out of me. I know that. But I remember when I was figuring out my purpose, I wasn't clear on it for a long time. But one thing I kept asking myself, I remember Steve Harvey actually brought this idea up to my head when I saw one of those motivational speeches. He said, he said, what is the one thing you do so well without even really trying? And that's where I started. I asked myself about what I loved. And at that time, and throughout the time, there's times that I'm like, I don't know what I love, right? So then I thought, how about I start with loving me? Let me just go start loving me, because once I can take care of myself, I can declutter all the stressors and all that other stuff and the noise. And then in me loving me, taking care of myself, I can build this energy to then find the things I love. Become the energy that you want reciprocated to you, right? You're going to find all those things there. If you're listening to this right now and you're like, okay, I'm having all these different thoughts about the things that I love and you know, my purpose and all that kind of stuff, I want you to write those things down. I don't care if it's, I love going for walks. I just love it. It just gives me so much energy. Write that shit down. Write it down. If it's, I love writing. I just love writing. I love talking. I love being a chatty Cathy. I love shopping. I love trying on different clothes. Write those things down. Write them all down. I want you to think about that. And you can, maybe if you journal, I'm a big journal girl and I'm going to be referring to a lot of journal entries throughout the pod. Maybe tonight you could answer a question like, what gets you excited to wake up in the morning? But I want you to take time to think, what is it that gives me energy? What do I love? Hey, before we continue, I just wanted to stop and thank each and every one of you who is listening, who is watching. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. It means so much to me. And thank you for going along this journey with me. If you haven't yet, please subscribe to the YouTube, subscribe to the podcast, and share this with someone who needs to be reminded that they too are their best thing, no matter what it is they're going through. Now, don't be messy. If you got to tell somebody something, just be direct and send them this podcast. But thanks so much. And I'm looking forward to continuing this journey with you. Okay, now that we talked a little bit about purpose, let's talk about creating a vision. Why should you have one? And I also think some of this conversation and some of this talk feels like a little woo-woo, but you have to have some kind of roadmap. If you have goals, and it's not just about goals, but if you are living every day, waking up, doing a thing, what's your roadmap? We're not just here just to like be bored all day. You're not just here for that. There has to be more. Vision is your roadmap, and it helps you focus and focus your energy and make decisions. That's the biggest one. Without a vision, we tend to just react to life, but with one, we are creating life. And I always say, when you're a little child, you can't really be intentional about deciding this is the kind of life I want. You're under the mercy of the grown-ups in your life or the grown-ups that are not in your life. But when you're an adult, you can take control of your life and decide, this is what I'm going to do now. So the past is the past, right? But I'm going to listen to podcasts like these. I'm going to surround myself with awesome people. I'm going to lean into things I love that are positive, good for me. And I'm going to create a roadmap to create the life I want, to help me make decisions, to help me put my energy there. Imagine where you want to be in 5 years from now. What does that life look like? Not just in your career, but in your relationships, your health, and your personal growth. And honestly, what I had to stop doing, I had to stop connecting my career to purpose. I had to stop doing that because it was messing me up, y'all. I pivoted so many times. And to be honest, I don't know if me being psychotherapist is going to be what I do until I'm done. Even the whole retirement thought process, like what, no, like I once I started really thinking about my purpose and the whole, like where you see your life in 5 years, right? I'm not talking about career. Let's just exit that out. But I'm talking about in your relationships and the things that make you happy and your habits, right? Think about those things. So here's a little story time. So I lived in Lancaster City about like maybe 2.5 years ago, right? I'm from Lancaster, so I grew up there, right? And I didn't want to live there anymore. Like as an adult, I was like, okay, this is like I'm just so over it. Like I'm just so over it. And it's not that I like didn't like, well, maybe it is that. I was gonna say, it's not that I didn't like people, but nah, for real. Some of y'all, I don't like y'all, okay? I'm sorry. It's okay. Everyone's not for me and I'm not for everyone. Can I put that? I don't think I'm going to put that in there. No, but it's not that I don't like people. No, it's just, for me, I knew there was so much more out there for me. I just knew it. Like, I was like, I just feel like I need to put myself in a position that would challenge me, that would challenge my thinking, that would challenge my gifts, that would make room, that would have space for my gifts. I just didn't feel like Lancaster in that time was it for me. And I didn't even know. This is where it could be so frustrating when it comes to vision and purpose and your roadmap. I didn't even know what I wanted to do. Like I knew I didn't want to do social work. I was so burnt out. I knew I didn't want to live in Lancaster, but I didn't know where I wanted to go. I didn't know what I wanted to do. And I remember people saying like, well, that's good. You don't know what to do because at least you don't go there. Okay. No shit, Sherlock, I'm sure I've said that to people, but I also remember going to a bar and this older man from New York was like, hey, he's like, well, you're not a tree, and I was like, no shit, Sherlock. No, but the context of what we were talking, it made so much sense. So it gave me that, like, I was just feeling like, I could just go, right? But again, I didn't know where I wanted to go. So back to the story. So what I did in the midst of me caring for myself, running, doing all these things, I just started leaning into and I started visualizing and thinking about the way I wanted my life to feel. That's what I started doing. I was like, you know what? I love walking outside. I love getting like a coffee from a coffee shop that I shouldn't be buying because I bought like three other ones this week. But I love just walking outside, walking to a coffee shop. I love hearing cars just driving by me and like different music from them. I love hearing like people having their conversations walking past me. I love the people walking their dogs. I just love that energy. And I love big buildings. Like that's just, it gives me so much energy. Like it gives me so much energy. So I knew that's the kind of life that I want to live, right? Like I knew that's how I want to feel. I knew I wanted to do something that I was like talking. I just knew that. I just knew that that's what I want to do. I love like putting things together and like wording things a certain way and the social media. I just love that aspect of marketing and all that good stuff. I knew I wanted to do that. And in that, I don't even know if y'all know this. I just put it on a piece of paper with my coworker. I said, hey girl, pick a paper. And it had like 6 different cities. And I came to Philly. I'm so happy I did because the way that Philly sports, the way that they're so serious about their sports, I should say the way we're so serious about our sports. It just feels like you're in a movie. So side note, if you're wanting to move to a new city and specifically Philly, come during football season. Just saying. It's so dope. Side note. So I leaned into that. I came to Philly. I got into a marketing, I started working for this marketing firm, right? Now, this is me and my thinking at that time. As I continued to open myself up to leaning into the things that gave me energy, I leaned into my fitness and my movement and my wellness. I leaned into like caring for myself. I leaned into like the things that gave me energy. I then was able to evolve to a place where one, I was feeling healthy mentally and physically. So I wasn't so burnt out. I wasn't burnt out like I was being a social worker in Lancaster. And I was like, man, I'm just really feeling like that me that I know is coming back, that compassionate, empathetic me. It's coming back to me, and I want to give. Like I want to use what I learned. I want to use what I know as a therapist, as with my clinical skills and all that stuff. I want to use it again, and it created a space, like me caring for myself and leaning in, just created a space for me to build vision, right? Oh my gosh, I just went all the way off topic because I just realized I started talking about how I wanted my life to feel because I was going to go into my vision board. Basically, if you're following me, yeah, that's kind of what I did. Like I started thinking about the way I wanted my life to feel. And I made a vision board, and everyone talks about vision boards, and this is why it's so important. I really think it's so important for you to make a vision board if you have not yet. I make all my clients make a vision board who are like in their like upper teens, young adults, because it helps you see and it reminds you and refocuses you into what you really want, where you want to, it's a roadmap where you're going, where you want to go. It's a good reset button. And not just that, when you see this every single day, you're telling your brain, this belongs to us. This is ours. You're reprogramming the mind, okay? Now, y'all know what a vision board is. I'm not going to go into that because we're living in a time where vision boards are just so trendy. But I don't care how trendy they are. They work. I have my vision board right behind me. I have it on my phone. I have it on my laptop. I have another one in my room. Like, I am like obsessed with my vision board. I even went to New York. I remember I spent the night. It was like the 31st of December into the new year, but I love the energy in New York so much. Like I remember thinking like, I want to be at my highest energy when I'm making my vision board. Like I want to feel the vibrations. I want to feel like they're high, but I just didn't want that energy of like, discouragement or just some negative like thinking or like just the low vibes and very basic. Like I didn't want that energy. So I went to New York to make my vision board, and it was an amazing experience. So if you ever thought of doing something like that, do it, because it literally it makes a difference. It makes a difference. I actually have a whole like magazine ledge, I guess you could say, or I hold all my magazines basically. You'll probably see on my Instagram when I'm talking and stuff. And it's really cutesy, right? Like I have a light that says it was all a dream, and underneath it has all these magazines, and it has about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have 5. I can see it from here. And each magazine represents something that I want in my life, and I want to feel in my life, and I want the energy to really just manifest in my life. Some of it I feel like I already have. But one of them is a Shape magazine, and it's the new science of strong, right? And it talks about like just strength building and strength training and women specifically, and why it's so important for us to be strong and how we have to protect our bones and all that good stuff. And it's just a girl like arms out, and it just says strong. And I love seeing that every day, because to me, working out is now a habit, but like I want to do more than just like cycle and just do like the cardio kind of stuff. I want to be strong, right? So that's something that I have there. I have a Beyonce poster, not just because I'm a millennial, okay? And not just because Beyonce is that girl and she's that queen, but because Beyonce to me represents like hardworking ethic, like never stopping, like we are going to work hard for our success, like, and we are going to be successful. Okay. That's why I have that there. I have one of Oprah. Oprah is on my vision board, period. I love her. And I'm over here looking at it, but the magazine for hers, it says, Secrets to Happiness, 10 ways, Secrets to Happiness. Sorry. Her magazine says Secrets to Happiness. And besides the fact that she's like a thought leader and she really digs into some of the topics that I'm obsessed with, and self-awareness and all the good stuff, the magazine talks about like happiness. And that's something that I, am constantly just loving to live in. I'm just loving to live in a happy place where I'm not stressing over things I can't control. Right. Another magazine is, Jalen Hurts holding the trophy for the Super Bowl Go Birds. And it's the way he's looking at it that made me want to grab that magazine, besides the fact that I'm a Eagles fan. But I wanted to grab it to see every day because he looked at it, and also us knowing the story behind it of them going to the Super Bowl and like being so close to that ring, and then not being able to, not getting it, right? Like losing at the Super Bowl, but then coming back and having the same opponent, the same challenge, the same like defeat, the same failure, the same whatever. And then having the satisfaction of like, I did this, we did this. Like I knew we could, like I knew we could be successful. I knew we could beat them. I knew we could overcome this. We knew it and we did it. And that's the way that he looks at that. And the way I feel like that trophy to me is, it's like all the adversities that I've experienced personally, all the adversities that my generation has experienced. This is so deep for like an Eagles fucking magazine. Like I should not be thinking this deep on an Eagles, on an Eagles magazine cover, but I am. And it's like the way he looked at that trophy, he looks at it, it's like it's his adversity, it's his struggle, it's his pain, it's all of it. And so to me, when I see it and I see that smile, that smirk, it's like, to me, it's like, yeah, that's the energy I have. That's the energy I'm getting. Like, I'm going to look at my shit just like that. I'm going to look at my adversity just like that. I say all this to say, be very intentional about not just making a vision board and not just making a vision for your life, but putting things around you that communicate to you and your brain subconsciously, like, this is the energy we're living in. This is the energy we're going to evolve into. This is the energy we're going for. Okay. Whew. That was like a lot for a first episode. I think it was a lot. But I think it was only right that we start there. It was only right we started with vision and purpose, because if you're going to be listening to this podcast with me, if you're following me on Instagram and you're part of my group chat broadcast, it's all about not just, encouraging you and motivating you. But the reason that vision and purpose in this podcast collide so well together is because I need you to know that you are already your best thing. Like, you are already everything you need. And often when we look at where we want to go and we think about the lives that we want, we think, well, I don't have this and I don't have that, and I'm not this and I'm not that. And the truth is this: you are everything you need to be to go where you're going. And everything in the middle, everything around you, everything beside you, like, it's going to mold you and grow you. Every single time you trip up, it's going to mold you and grow you. I mean, look at the Eagles again. They had that moment, they didn't win, and then they got Saquon. Like, it's like, you know what? That win, Saquon needed to be there. And Saquon may have had his own moments on his own team, where he wanted to win. He wanted to he's a winner, and he wasn't amongst winners. Okay, let's keep it 100. Sorry. I'm sorry to anyone. Oh my gosh. I don't even know who the other people are on his other team. You guys are winners on a personal level. I'm talking about your team. Sorry. But Saquon had to be a part of that win. And that's why maybe we didn't get that ring. I don't know. Who knows? But that's what I'm telling myself. That's why I'm trying to communicate to you. Everything's going to work out for you. I'm starting to sound like a Christian podcast. No. Y'all, I grew up in church. So I'm going to make the references, but I do not align with all of it. Some of it's good. I don't align with all of it. So, but yeah, everything's always on time for you. You're your best thing. And I'm so happy that you're here on my podcast. I'm so excited. This just motivated me and inspired me and like really encouraged me to keep going. I was so nervous to record this first episode, but thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you for making room for me and space for me. And I am making room for you and space for you, for your growth, for your thoughts, for your good energy, and even some of the bad energy that we gotta get rid of. All right. So I'll see you next time. Cannot wait. Thanks again for supporting the podcast. I'm looking forward to meeting you here next week. And remember, you are your best thing, always.